Hi all, and thanks for being with me. I have a subject which I find particularly abhorrent, which I'm about to relate to you, and I just wish to suggest that if there's any issues that you have here, that you call your local helpline. Because this is one of the most disgusting stories I've ever heard, ever read. Now, I've been a therapist for over 30 years, and you get to a point as a therapist, you think you've heard it all, and then you hear something, or you read something like this, and you think about the depravity that some people experience that is beyond belief. It's just the worst of the worst. Now, we can often relate to circumstances around the world where we might see mass killings, we might see horrific events happen around the world that are not necessarily an individual's concern. They might be about some sort of climate catastrophe or whatever, and you feel sorry and you feel sad for all of that. But in this case, this is about a man who behaved so badly in the most horrific possible ways that I've rated him as the worst man on earth. I want you to, I'll have a look at this. Let me know what you think on the other side. Put your comments down below. But I'm about to read an article that was in the ABC, on the ABC website just recently. And I find it absolutely appalling. I'm apologising to you in advance for anything that might trigger anything within you. You can reach out to me personally if you want some further help around that, or you can simply contact Lifeline or some other service if you want to talk to people about your experiences. But this is particularly horrible, and I can't stress it enough that if you need help, please seek help, because some of the stuff that I'm about to talk about is the worst of the worst. So bear with me. Now, the article is on the abc.com.au website, and it concerns this particular dude. So this is Adam Britton. He pleaded guilty the other day in the Supreme Court with charges, but not only, they were including bestiality, they were also including childhood sexual abuse. So I'm going to read a fair portion of this article to you, so you get a sense as to what's happening here. And they do have a warning at the beginning of this, as I've just presented to you. So please, if you've got issues around anything that I'm about to talk about, then please let me know or contact appropriate service. A prominent crocodile specialist from Darwin has pleaded guilty to dozens of charges of bestiality involving the torture, rape, and the killing of pet dogs. A suppression order had hidden the identity of Adam Robert Corden Britton, a zoologist who has built an international reputation for his work on crocodiles over decades since his arrest last year. However, that order simply has now been lifted. Britton is facing 60 charges relating to bestiality and possessing, accessing and transmitting child abuse material. A number of videos depicting animal cruelty were found during a joint Northern Territory Police and Australian Federal Police raid, which resulted in his arrest on a rural Darwin property last year. Police located 15 child abuse material files on his laptop. After pleading guilty to all charges in the Supreme Court today, Chief Justice Michael Grant warned the gallery the facts of the offending details, quote, acts that could only be described as grotesque cruelty, which are both confronting and distressing, which in my assessment have the potential to cause nervous shock or some other adverse psychological reaction to a person exposed of those details. And of course, they don't go into the details here either, but one can only imagine how horrible they were. In a rare occurrence, the Chief Justice also excused security officers and sheriffs from the courtroom while the facts were put on the record. So I think that demonstrates how severe the information was, and that the judge was concerned that other people would be affected by the material that was about to present, which was obviously pictures, audios and other sort of evidence. Crown Prosecutor Marty Yost detailed numerous instances of torture and sexual exploitation of animals between November 2020 and April 2022. The court heard Britton had a sadistic sexual interest in animals, and in particular dogs, dating back to at least 2014, and his deliberate and planned conduct resulted in the intentional killing of at least 39 animals. The ABC has chosen to limit the amount of detail described in Britain's crimes due to their graphic nature. Thank God for that. It was heard that Britain used marketplace website Gumtree to source new dogs, often building a rapport with the owners who were reluctantly giving their pets away due to travel or work commitments. So in effect, he was grooming people so that he could conduct these abusive and absolutely disgusting behaviours. Mr. Ross said a number of the dog owners had reached out to Britain for updates on their pet's transition. In such instances, the offender took photos of the dogs prior to torturing and killing them and would communicate false narratives to the dog owners and send pictures. Prosecutors told the court Britain owned a shipping container on his property equipped with filming equipment and used the space to torture, and sexually exploit and kill dogs. How can, and I guess, I can't imagine the mentality of a human being I can't imagine them, sexually abusing children, and sexually abusing dogs, and then killing the animals after he's sexually exploited them and photographed them and filmed them and done all the other terrible things that he does. Just amazes me that some of these people exist in the first place. The prosecutor said that he owned a shipping container on his property equipped with filming equipment and used the space to torture and sexually exploit and kill dogs. Last year, police seized 44 items including computers, mobile telephones, cameras, external hard drives, tools, weapons, dog paraphernalia and sex toys. Now, I've highlighted this bit because I think this is something that we all need to be mindful of, and this is just as horrific. Mr. Ross told the court that Britain operated a Telegram account which was used for the sole purpose of engaging in conversations with like-minded people. So Britain is not the only one who thinks this way. There are others in the community who will behave as he does, or who at least gathers information and gathers the material that he was able to provide for them, and that he used another account to upload and disseminate images and recordings of his crimes. Using these applications, the offender discussed his kill count and described the shipping container on his property as his torture room. Dozens of Britain's online messages to other users were aired to the court, detailed the ways in which he carried out the offending and how he acquired dogs. In total, his account contained 114 chat threads. In one message, Britain tells someone, "I had repressed it. In the last few years, I let it out again, and now I can't stop. I don't want to." Britain was remanded in custody and his case was adjourned for sentencing submissions in December, when it's expected his defence will make submissions. And my suggestion is that a man who has those tendencies, or any person for that matter, needs to be locked up for a very, very long time. So this is the worst of the worst. So they haven't gone into great detail about the explicit materials has in relation to childhood sexual abuse, but clearly that was present as well. So not only was he torturing and sexually assaulting animals, he was also torturing and sexually assaulting children, not killing them, but he was sexually assaulting them. And it's just a horrific story, and it's just one that I had to tell, because we need to be mindful that these terrible, atrocious individuals are out there. And if we suspect any of these people in our lives who've got any of these twisted ways of viewing the world, then we need to report them to authorities. And we need to keep ourselves, and our animals for that matter, safe. So let us know what you think down below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be really nice if I could send you, if you'd be notified actually of any further videos that I might produce. Take care, everybody. Hope this wasn't too traumatic for you. Look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.